in a weird turn of events, No Man's Sky, another update, and another game that is going to be more complete than Star Citizen, a better space adventure than Star Wars, a better space adventure than Star Trek, a better space adventure than anything else I can think of. Odyssey, whatever, a Space Odyssey. I don't even remember the name at the beginning of that. What is it?
Space Odyssey.
Something a Space Odyssey. What's the name of the movie? Is it a movie? Is it a TV show? Is it Star Trek: A Space Odyssey? Is it that?
I don't know. Star Quest?
Oh, God.
Lost in Space?
No, something a Space Odyssey. Oh, my God. Oh.
I mean, I guess
2001 A Space Odyssey?
yes.
We'll get there. Let me pull that reference out of my head.
That's the one with
Yes.
HAL 9000.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure the first computer I ever built, I named it HAL 9000.
Of course you did. Well, that's as
And now I name them all after Gundams.
What's yours currently named?
Zaku 2.
Wait, a better question. Was there a Zaku 1?
No.
Ah.
There was an Exia that was a Gundam as well, though.
Was there a Zaku 1 in the Gundams?
I'm assuming there was.
Or was there just always 2 and they just...
I mean, I'm assuming there is a Zaku 1 and it's probably like, deep in the manga lore or some OVA or something like that. But the Zaku 2 is like the main, so like my network is called Principality of Zeon, which is like one of the entities. And then they make the Zaku 2, which became like their like main fighting mobile suit. And then there's like the meme of a random character going, this is no Zaku, and it's the whole thing.
Somebody out there listen to that, and when I respect him.
Yeah.
I went
Someone.
confused.
Someone. You know what? Everyone just needs to do themselves a favor and watch G Gundam. All right?
Is that the one?
That's the one. Tequila Gundam. That's all I'm going to say.
Man, Tequila Gundam is exactly what you think it is. I have an affinity for naming mine like World of Warcraft references.
And that's obvious.
And that is obvious. It especially was funny because I think it was Wednesday night. We were getting on to just do random stuff. We weren't raiding.
Mm-hmm.
And as we're getting in and like start doing stuff, servers crash. Every server goes down. So then we're all just sitting in Discord like, what do we do? And so we're just trying to spam log in because there's more story to it that doesn't matter for what we're talking about. But we're just trying to log in, and we got to the point where you could at least see the server list. And their servers are all names of relative WoW things.
Yeah.
But some of them, if you don't know WoW history, you go, what the fuck is that?
Okay.
So that's just where I'm going to start potentially naming things.
There you go.
Yeah, I've come to I want to name things that I build as a project.
Mm-hmm.
I've fallen in love with the Gaia and like naming tree that Horizon used.
Yeah.
So I'm going to force myself to get that in somewhere, but I need a project with enough legs underneath it so I can have the project named Gaia with the parts underneath it.
That gives me a really good idea to just start naming all of my projects at work weird shit.
Yeah.
Because normally we just refer to it as like the board name or the board number. Or
if you started naming your projects at work after Gundam, it'd be hysterical.
There is a fun thing. I think I told you. Did I tell you about the taco boards?
No.
So we're doing... All right. So you remember how I was a while ago...
Tangent.
Yeah, there's a tangent.
We're already gone.
Yeah, we're doing this board for... It's like this service key thing or whatever. Long story short, the abbreviation of it is tacos. And it's tacos with an E at the end. And our head of production convinced the customer that we're building these boards for to silk screen a taco on the board. So all the boards have fucking tacos on them.
I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just doing. I need a project that has like multiple legs underneath it, and then that's gonna be like the Gaia one or whatever. But anything that's just like an offshoot of like entirely involved in my life is probably gonna get some random World of Warcraft reference name.
Mm-hmm.
And when somebody's like, "Well, what's that?" and I'm like, "Well, and you see, in the Second War,
See,
he was the heir
it's the
to
perfect
the throne
combination though, because like there's the names and stuff are exotic enough, but also obscure because it's not like a history thing or anything like that.
Yeah.
They have exotic names like they could be from history, and then
Well, they're from the history of the world.
Yeah.
Of Warcraft.
People will be like, "What the fuck is this? Sounds legit." Don't know. Well, that's tangent number 1. We'll keep a running tally and not remember at the end.
I mean, we don't remember anything.
No.
For a second, I thought you were going to tell me that they just started calling it taco, like that it wasn't a taco, like that it wasn't an abbreviation. All they just started calling them taco boards as the same way that we treat new people as spinach.
Yeah.
I thought we were just into you had brought your own spinach to the new place.
Oh yeah, like all new boards are tacos. Got some new tacos this week.
Exactly. Just all new boards are tacos and just just force it. If you say it enough, eventually somebody will repeat it back to you, and you go, "Now you get it."
Yeah. It's dangerous.
With great power,
Great responsibility.
but with that great power, you could be playing more games.
You could be productive with your life and enjoy video games. I don't do that anymore.
Like some new ones on a list I have.
Oh my god.
Starting with number 1, 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim for the Switch.
I went sexual with that. Don't know why.
Because of the word rim, you freak.
Yeah.
Number 2, Back for Blood, Tunnels of Terror DLC.
Okay, we're getting a trend going here.
Number 3, Biota, that is Biota for the PC. Number 4, Planet Zoo Wetlands Animal Pack DLC. Number 5, Uragoon for the PC. Number 6, Abyss for the PC.
Do you remember the old Brisk commercials?
Oh, God, what? That's I've now had a Sobe reference and a Brisk commercial reference. Number 7, Bush Hockey League for the Switch. Number 8, Cat Cafe Manager for the PC and Switch.
Love it.
Number 9, Crime Site for the PC. Number 10, Tormented Souls for the Switch. And number 11, Taito Milestones for the Switch.
Bunch of heavy hitters this week.
Cat Cafe Manager.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to move on from being a football manager and manage a cat cafe.
Even harder.
Honestly, yes, because cats have more egos than football players.
Yeah. You can't manage.
You can't
cats.
manage that. It
You
would
just
be
gotta
fair.
hang on.
It would be funny if halfway through the save it flips and you're just now a peon in this cat cafe.
Exactly.
Or what if it starts from the beginning that you're the cat cafe manager, except that the company is owned by a cat. So now you're running inner office politics.
That's like a no-win situation.
Right, exactly.
Crazy.
I'm just saying.
Might have to
The
look into that one.
possibilities are endless.
Might have to look into that one. All right. What are you feeling?
Odds.
Odds. All right.
I just saw what number 2 was, and I don't want to talk about it. So
It's very short, though.
Instead, they're both short. Instead, I'll talk about number 1. Epic Games has raised $2 billion in a funding round, and that is not just from kids giving them money on Fortnite. The funds came from existing investors, with Sony Group Corporation and Kirkby, the investment company behind Lego, each contributing $1 billion. The investment will go towards advancing the company's vision to build the metaverse and support its continued growth.
I don't
yeah.
understand big business.
Why you would give them $2 billion when they can just make that in 3 months?
Yes.
Good question.
Yes. Also, the metaverse thing, like, I feel like that bubble is just getting obnoxiously large. And when is it going to pop? Or are we just going to end up in, like, Ready Player One scenario? Oop, big yawn.
Yeah, I think there's... I don't know if this is... The way I see it is multiple companies are using the same word while meaning different things.
Yeah, it's a
We're
buzzword.
very close to Inigo Montoya's, or whatever, not Inigo Montoya, whatever line that is from Princess Bride. You keep saying that word, and I don't think
you know what it means.
Yeah.
I don't think you know what I don't think it means what you think it means.
Exactly that one. And it's like, yeah, metaverse. And it's like they Epic makes sense to like do it because they've already been doing it with Fortnite of like having all of these characters and everything inside of there and all that stuff. That is in theory a metaverse with all the stuff that is going on and the integrations with every other game and everything else. Like, oh, Lara Croft randomly drops in Fortnite and everybody's like, huh? It's like, yeah, but that builds another branch to the metaverse, similar to the way that like Marvel's metaverse is the same kind of, just not with the interacting part of it. You're watching a metaverse, which is a little different. But then you have somebody like Facebook that's like, oh, we're going to build a metaverse. And they're like, no. You always exist in the metaverse. We're always watching. And it's like, whoa. That is a different metaverse. That is closer to the Ready Player One angle.
Yeah, they totally are. They want to have AR glasses, true AR glasses, ready by 2024.
So do I, but I want to have them, but I want to have them in like the cool Hackerman way, where like I took their product and modified their code so that way they can't see what I'm doing now.
Yes, like the Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
I don't
Watch
want
Dogs, Cyberpunk, whatever.
Yeah, I don't want the Facebook AR glasses where I'm just getting ads popped into my eyeballs as I walk around.
God, can you imagine just walking down the street and they're like, "Hey, so we saw your search history the other night.
Hey, Matt, we saw you were looking at giant purple dildos. Why don't you buy this one over here?
There's a shop 2 blocks up and to the left. It's got your size." What do you mean? We know. Oh, okay, Facebook.
Jesus.
How far do we want to go down the rabbit hole? Something. You know,
something down the hole. What?
Well, there's the rabbit hole joke where if you miss the turn when you're going down the rabbit hole and you go past Wonderland, like, oh.
Yeah.
What's beyond Wonderland, which is also the name of an EDM festival.
Yep.
But it's like, yeah, what's beyond Wonderland? Oh, it's that place. Or the old, well, when you stare into the abyss.
Yeah.
Eventually. It stares back into you.
Speaking of the abyss, China is being China again. This week, China issued its first licenses to publish new games in 9 months. The approvals include 45 games from a number of different companies. On the same topic, Tencent is altering one of its services in a way that will prevent gamers based in China from playing online games from overseas. That update will launch on May 31st. So
basically VPN prevention.
Yeah, I'm curious what that entails, really.
Probably some ridiculous system level add-on software piece that's just constantly watching.
The Iron Curtain.
Yep. Well, no.
The Iron Router. No, the Iron Firewall. That's what it is.
The Great Firewall.
The Great Firewall. That's what it is.
Because it's the reference to the Great Wall of China.
Yes, that makes more sense.
The Iron Curtain is
Soviet
Russia.
Yeah.
And the Steel Curtain is the name of the early Pittsburgh Steelers defense.
Oh. Okay. Got anything else? Got any other?
No, I got stuck with
the Iron
idea.
Dome.
Doesn't exist anymore?
Does exist. Well, which Iron Dome are you talking about?
Yeah, that's
talking about Israel's Iron Dome.
Okay, yeah,
which is made out of lasers now, apparently.
Yeah, it's less of an Iron Dome and more of a pew pew dome.
Yeah, doesn't work in rain though.
That is a downside.
That could be a problem.
might want to get that checked out. I just kept thinking when you used the Abyss reference to get into the story.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, man, can you imagine if we had a map and it was just marked Abyss? Like, how creepy and eerie would it be if it was just like, yep, there's an abyss over there, and you're like, yeah, but what's the abyss? And they're like, exactly, it's just there. We've identified it, we acknowledge it, we just stay away now.
Yeah,
that's the abyss.
The abyss.
Speaking of that, actually, did you see the? I don't know why we're doing this. Why am I doing this tangent? Whatever. Advertisement, not really. There's a trailer going around.
Okay.
For a show with Josh Brolin in it and a bunch of other people where he looks like a rancher maybe in Montana. I'm going to go for Montana in this story because I don't know where it actually takes place.
Okay.
But if you watch the trailer, you'd go, yeah, he's a rancher in Montana.
Okay.
But he has this giant, I don't know, probably 10-foot wide or 15-foot wide like hole randomly in a field somewhere, and it's just this black hole, but it's not deep because it's like an abyss level of like just on the top of it, so like you can't really see through it, but it's just there.
Mm-hmm.
And in the trailer he like puts his hand through it or something, and I don't know if it's like an alternate version or visions or what, and I was just like, it's an abyss though.
It's an abyss coming back. Being cool again.
Abysses on their way back. Get your stock in Abyss now. Gonna be high.
Yep. You wait. You'll see a whole string of video games coming out referencing some sort of Abyss.
If we predicted the Abyss meta,
it happened.
Here's the other issue. If we predict the Abyss meta, this is the furthest wild card we've ever thrown. I have inklings usually on everything else I predict, so they're not like too far off.
Yeah. They're like educated guesses.
Right. They're educated guesses that end up being 95% correct.
Yeah.
If we've somehow guessed an Abyss meta with less than 5% educated guess, closer to less than 1% educated guess,
I got a good feeling on it.
You know our Reddit searches are going to be terrible now for the next 3 days.
Oh, yeah.
Just, oh, yeah, look at the Abyss. Abyss, 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 Abyss.
Yeah, it's going to be like Abyss, 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 purple dildos, Abyss.
I don't know why your Reddit search has purple dildos in it. You know what? And don't tell me. I don't want to know. Number 3. Of course, there's Activision Blizzard news, because why wouldn't there be? Good question, Matt. Activision Blizzard announced that it has hired Kristen Hines as its new Chief Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion DEI Officer. Is that equity or equality, Matt?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay. Yeah, all right. We doubled down on equity, so I'm going to go with that. She previously served as a leader of the Global Inclusion, Diversity, and Equity practice at Accenture. She will begin her new role as Chief DEI Officer on April 25th and will report to the Chief People Officer, Julie Hodges, which is also up there with Head of Gaming. Chief People Officer might be one of my favorite titles.
Like, what does that even?
What does it even mean? What are those? The game publisher went on to say that Hines will play a critical role in furthering its promise to increasing the number of women and non-binary people within the company. Are you looking up my question?
No, I was looking up what Accenture was, but their website is formatted in a terrible way where it cuts all the text off. So
that'd be that they don't have a mobile version. So nice. Also, according to Bloomberg, a lawyer has resigned from the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing, saying that California Governor Gavin Newsom has been interfering with the agency's lawsuit against Activision Blizzard for the benefit of the publisher. The lawyer, Assistant Chief Counsel for the DFEH, Melanie Proctor, reportedly sent an email to staff last night announcing her resignation and explaining that it was in protest of Newsom firing her boss, DFEH Chief Counsel Jeanette Wiper. The two lawyers had been part of the agency's lawsuit. I'm going to just start that sentence again. The two lawyers have been part of the agency's lawsuit accusing Activision Blizzard of gender discrimination and misconduct, but were removed from the suit earlier this month without explanation. Quote, the Office of the Governor repeatedly demanded advance notice of litigation strategy and of next steps in the litigation. As we continued to win in state court, this interference increased, mimicking the interests of Activision's counsel, end quote. Of course they would.
It is equity.
It is equity. All right. Interesting.
I can't wait for the Netflix documentary on the Activision Blizzard thing.
Oh, the Drive to Survive?
Yeah. I don't know if it'd be Drive to Survive, more like Tiger King.
It's true. It might be more like Tiger King. It would be funny if it was Drive to Survive style. Yeah, there's definitely some shenanigans, and it would be great if people would quit trying to muddle in it.
Yeah. Politics, man, and politicians.
Also, like, what the hell does he care?
Money.
Yeah, well, guess what? The company that owns them is in Washington.
Money. They're all friends. All these politicians and rich people. They're all on the same airplanes, flying to weird islands where there's little kids. Too real? Too true?
Too definitely potential.
Yeah.
Back to that 90% thing.
All right. On to more terrible stories.
Oh, great. I love this uplifting podcast.
Eden Games has been acquired by blockchain gaming outfit Animoca Brands. I'm going to go Animoca, even though that's like there's not an H in there. Animoca has said Eden will work on new blockchain-based racing games, as well as contribute to Animoca's existing titles built around its Rev token. The new games will also be part of Animoca's NFT Race Pass program. And the only reason this is on the podcast is what Eden made in the past. Eden worked on the Need for Speed series with the Porsche Unleashed installment.
Man, everybody remembers that.
Yeah, talked about it last week.
Yeah, Matt remembers it.
I'm the only one.
He's the only one that played it.
I'm the only one.
I mean, all right, cool, whatever.
Yeah. No one cares.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter because no one's going to pay attention at all. So
Yeah, I never even heard of any of these things.
No.
So.
Though I've heard of Rev Token, but that's just because I know it exists. I haven't ever looked at it. I just know it exists.
Yeah.
Number 5, Bungie has started to roll out fully remote positions in selected U.S. states as part of a pivot to digital working. In an announcement, the developer said that it is now approved to hire remote workers in Washington, California, Oregon, Illinois, Florida, North Carolina, and Texas. The jobs are spread across a number of disciplines across the Bungie flagship title Destiny 2, as well as an unannounced project. Ooh,
New York's not in there. We can't work for Bungie. Not that we'd want to. I would.
Hire me as a sysad.
I would. Hire me for something. I don't have any marketable skills for you.
Sysadmin solutions engineer. System engineer. Just give it to me.
Okay. There you go. There's his resume.
My resume is gimme.
Gimme. This one's kind of interesting. Not really, just for the concept.
Before you even go.
Yes.
To touch on that a little bit more. Does that not seem weird? First off, that made it into this podcast.
Bungie?
The nature of that story. And
yeah.
I say made it into this podcast as if you didn't like choose what goes into this podcast. And I'm not like criticizing your choosing of it. It's just like it's a weird press release.
So let me run you through the holes in my editing.
Here we go. Swiss cheese.
I go through and there's a handful of sites that I look at, And I will go through and I will just open a tab for every story that he's in remotely interesting. And then I start slicing and dicing.
So far, I respect it. Same thing I do.
So then I start slicing and dicing. And I do some mild, you know what? Don't care. And then I slice and dice and I throw it in the dock with the anticipation of going back through and removing things that, I basically throw everything in the dock in case there isn't enough. And then the idea is to go back through and take things out and add other things in or whatever that case may be. So shitty stuff like this that really we don't care about sometimes makes it in. A, because there's not a lot of news happening, or there's just boring news all week. Or B, I forget to remove it. Which in this case, it's a little column A, a little column B.
Yeah, I just mean that even being a press release from them, I just feel is weird.
Yeah, it is definitely strange. I mean, I guess if they're that... you know what? I have noticed the trend in the industry just from looking at a lot of these press releases and news is that people seem desperate for talent. Absolutely desperate. When you're whatever, when your executive producers or your game directors or your whatever are sending out tweets and stuff like that saying, hey, if you have any sort of skill or experience with these things, get a hold of us. Or these guys that Bungie did it. There was another one I saw too. It wasn't BioWare. There was another big company that did the same thing where they were just we're hiring this week, and I can't remember who it is now.
Bethesda did it during.
That's a good example. Bethesda. It just seems like everyone's just desperate for anyone.
Oh yeah, but I mean, people are trying to hire all the time. It's been made a little bit more prevalent lately.
Yeah,
but I mean, just this is as a press release. I assume it's because they need people and they want to put out for the fact that hey, we are looking to hire remote people. So you do not have to move to blah 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 in order to work with us.
Yeah,
but at the same time, it's almost but that would have just been listed in the job posting anyway. So I guess it's just it's a double-edged, hey, here's a PR blast, we're doing this, and then, hey, also, if you happen to stumble upon it, you'd also find it.
Yeah. Oddworld creator Lauren Lanning has said that launching on PS Plus was devastating for the sales of Oddworld Soulstorm. He claimed that the studio missed out on potential profit due to Soulstorm's popularity on the subscription service. The game launched in April last year as a PlayStation 5 exclusive and was available for free to PS Plus subscribers during its first month. Oddworld initially expected around 50,000 to 100,000 copies to be claimed by users on the service, but it was actually downloaded close to 4 million times, according to Lanning. During development, Lanning said that he felt that the PS Plus collaboration was needed in order for the studio to finish and release Soulstorm. He was initially hesitant due to the availability of PS5 consoles at the time, but felt as though the company, quote, did a pretty good deal, end quote, in the end. So I read this and I was torn because I get the concept of it, but at the same time, you specifically say that you didn't think you'd be able to finish the game without the PS Plus collaboration. And then you also said that your expectations for downloads were 50 to 100,000. So it's like the chicken and the egg. Did you get a ton of extra downloads because the game was good or so popular? Or did you get the extra downloads because it was on PS Plus?
Right. Which it's funny because it's always the download conversation whenever it comes to success in quote, because
getting 4 million downloads
days gone
doesn't mean you would have sold 4 million copies.
Yeah. But creatively, in a PR spin,
yeah,
they're the same thing.
Yeah. And I guess when you're like the creator or whatever, you're kind of like rose tinted glasses. And I feel like a lot of like creators of video games and like a lot of these like personalities and stuff like that have like that same issue that like race car drivers have and like athletes have, where their like mental image of themselves, like they think they're the best in the world.
Oh, okay.
And they have to think that to like to survive, essentially.
Yeah. Well, especially for athletes and whatever, like you need to have that, because if you start like second guessing yourself or anything, you can run into those issues where now you start making errors, and that, it's not to say that you can't look at somebody and be like, man, they are amazing.
Yeah.
But you have to think that at any given moment you can go out there and compete with anybody.
Yeah.
But at that same time, like
Soulstorm. Did you
when that got announced, I'm pretty sure we were at your house when it happened, because I think it was a Game Awards announcement, I believe.
Yeah.
Or it might have been it might have been an E3 one. Either way, we were at your house, I'm pretty sure. Because I remember it happening and we both go, is that Oddworld? Who's asking for that? Like I couldn't think of anybody I knew that I was like, yeah, they'll play that game.
Yeah, same. I also did not download it or take a look at it or anything when it came out. So
yeah, I didn't plan on it either. Still don't.
Yep.
Number 7, Sony and Nintendo have agreed to update guidelines pertaining to their respective online subscription services, following an investigation into auto-renewal practices by the Competition and Markets Authority. Respected. Sony has agreed to contacting long-term customers. For some reason, I threw an R in there and said contracting long-term customers.
You know, you can do what you want.
I don't think they should contract them. That haven't used the service for a while, to remind them how to cancel subscriptions. If users don't cancel the service but aren't actively using it, Sony will stop taking payments. Nintendo's Switch Online service will no longer be sold with automatic renewals set up as the default option. Good. That is how all subscription services should be. Yes, come to the good side. We have cookies. If users wish to turn it on, they will need to do so after signing up. The two platform holders follow Microsoft's agreement to change how it presents information to Game Pass subscribers. Those are two correct user-friendly things.
Yeah.
We're moving forward as an industry, Matt. I'm getting so emotional.
I don't think they had a choice, so let's not give them too much credit.
We're still moving forward. Oh,
they're growing up.
Let's be fair. I'm not giving either of those two credit.
No.
I'll give Microsoft credit because they did it first. But Sony's has not made an innovative bone in their body since they launched the PS5. And they're like, hey, look at this new technology. We don't know what to do with it. See you later. We made Astro's Playroom to demo it, and that's about where we stopped.
So sad.
At least Horizon makes use of the triggers.
Yeah, right? At least they kind of did something with it.
MLB hasn't done anything with it. I don't expect them to. You get sounds out of the speaker in it.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's kind of cool because you'll hear coaches, like if you're rounding the bases in your like career mode, you'll hear your like first base coach as you're rounding, like yelling something at you or whatever. It's like, okay, that's like a kind of cool thing, but like that's just a speaker in the remote.
I feel like MLB, the show, could do really cool things with the haptic triggers if they wanted to. As far as like all the ball handling stuff, like batting, throwing the ball.
I'd love to see you be able to turn on controller vibration for contact. And like you make sweet contact, the thing doesn't really vibrate. You make bad contact, and that thing shakes the shit out of your hand.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
When you make sweet spot contact, you don't even really feel it. It just goes.
They could add in like some sort of like show.
Like you get jammed in
show style.
like,
like point thing where like, you know, when you make good contact and you feel it, you can choose to do like a bat flip, a special bat flip, and then
Let me use the motion control as a controller, and I'll throw the controller in the air in my house, and that'll represent whatever the bat does in game.
and if you get it right, you know, like if it's out of the park and you do a bat flip, oh, that's sweet. And if it's like a fucking, it's caught at the wall and you did a bat flip, then everyone's like booing you and thinks you're a piece of shit.
It goes back to what I don't know if you remember this, when they were bringing the Kinect around, and they were showing fake demos, but it was a real demo, but they were never going to be able to put it in of people playing FIFA, and because the mic was on, they were coding things to react to what was being said.
Oh, like the cards, they were getting carded for swearing and stuff.
Well,
right?
yeah, because they would. That's fucking bullshit. There's no way I did that sign, and they're like, "Oh, it sounds like the manager's real pissed," or something like that. There was like that, those kind of lines. It was like, yeah, that would be kind of. It would have been. There would be those cool things, but like that's almost pushing it a little bit too far.
Yeah. Silly.
Or if you get really mad, you strike out, you spike your controller into the ground, and in game you just see your guy throw your bat through the ground like it's Excalibur into the stone.
Jesus. Number 8. Beamdog announced that it has entered a deal to be acquired by Aspire Media, a subsidiary of Embracer Group. With the deal, Aspire Media will acquire the studio's catalog of enhanced re-releases of older titles. The acquisition deal also includes the publisher obtaining Beamdo. I'm gonna go with Beamdo. Beamdo's first original title, Myth Force.
What a name.
The developer was founded in 2009 by Trent Oster, co-founder of BioWare, and former BioWare alum Cameron Topher. It went on to release older titles such as Baldur's Gate and Planetscape Torment for modern consoles. And as an aside, Embracer Group has spent $8 billion on acquisitions. And they said they're not stopping.
Of course they're not stopping. They still have 300 more games to get out.
Not stopping. Psychos. I recognize the name Beamdog, but I have no idea what it actually like. Yeah, I don't
recognize it at all. So I'll tell you what name I did recognize: Embracer Group.
Yeah, Aspire's they're doing the KOTOR remake.
Oh, for some reason when you said Aspire, I properly spelled it in my head.
Yeah.
And then now looking at it, that it's spelled that way, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But when I spelled it correctly, I was like, no, I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
No, man, they're Aspire with a Y. Oh,
so dumb. I hate how that's like becoming a thing. Like, whatever.
I've seen worse things.
Yeah, it's true. I'm just, old man on the porch. Get off my lawn, kids.
CD Projekt Red, speaking of things spelled wrong, has put the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X/S update for The Witcher 3 on hold until further notice. The update was originally due for release in Q2 of 2022, although this was also a delay, and was being developed by Saber Interactive, which handled both the 2019 Switch port and the 4K graphics update for consoles. This week, the official Witcher game Twitter account announced the next-gen version will now be handled by an in-house development team. Quote, "We are currently evaluating the scope of work to be done and thus have to postpone Q2 release until a further notice. We'll update you as soon as we can," end quote. Risky. Speaking of CDPR, The Witcher 3 has sold over 40 million copies, and Cyberpunk has now sold over 18 million. Failure of a game.
Super mega failure.
All you gotta do is market. Speaking of Cyberpunk, CDPR says that the vast part of the game's fixes have been done and are focusing on other projects. Perhaps the next game expansion, which they confirmed is coming in 2023 until that gets delayed.
Yeah. My assumption is that the next gen console update wasn't going as they had liked, and they just said we are taking it back. Fuck off. but doom and gloom. It's in development hell. All that.
Hold on. Shocking, and no.
Yep. Yupper doodles. They officially canceled the multiplayer, right?
See, I feel like I thought I remembered that, but then I don't ever actually remember it. I'm like on the fence. I want to say they did.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
also feel like they said no, we're just delaying it until further notice.
So in this financial call thing or whatever, yeah, it was a financial call because there was another thing about them making $207 million, something like that. They alluded to the fact that it was canceled, and they also said that they're moving all of their multiplayer aspirations to Unreal Engine 5. Which,
so is it canceled or not?
I think it is canceled. And I think when they said their other multiplayer stuff, they mean like, whatever fucking card games or whatever. Yeah.
Their only multiplayer thing.
Yeah. So that's, or future stuff.
Ah, yes. The multiple Witcher MMO they're making.
Yes. The Diablo style Witcher game. That's a good idea. It's a really good idea.
It's a really good idea as an add-on to a regular Witcher game.
Yeah.
I'm in the third book.
Nice. How you liking it so far?
I'm at the.
You're getting into like the main arc now, I think, right? Or you've been in it? Because the first two are like short stories.
I think I'm still getting. I'm just starting it.
Okay.
So we've left the spring and we're headed back to this. We've come to spring. We've left Kaer Morhen.
Yeah. So
we're headed to the south for the school.
Yeah. So you're
which has already happened in the show. Which, as you're like, this doesn't make any sense. Now I'm like going through the book. And I'm like, what the fuck? What order did they put this in?
Yeah, it's wild. It's gonna get worse, especially when you start to get into like Ciri and Yennefer's relationship. You're gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, we're not there yet. We haven't found Yen.
Yeah,
or they haven't met yet.
Mm-hmm.
We're at the ambush of the carts.
Okay,
by the squirrels.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet.
That she sensed happening because they were at. Yeah. Eliphael or whatever the name is.
I think you're going to start to get to the point where I think Ciri's behavior might be a little annoying because she's like a young girl.
She's 13.
Yeah, she's your typical
brat.
Yeah, exactly. So you seem to be aware of it, so that's good. I was just like, fuck this bitch.
I was more annoyed with Triss.
Yeah,
Triss and Kaer Morhen is unbearable.
Yeah, she's pretty bad. Yeah. Geralt gets pretty annoying at times too, actually. But I think that happens later on when he's angsty. He's like super angsty. And everyone's just like, shut the fuck up, Geralt. Like so
but yeah, just her shit in Kaer Morhen was annoying the hell out of me.
Yeah. That's you're like in it now to where like I feel like it's gonna fucking sink its teeth in.
I mean, it already did. Ever since I told myself like I'm playing The Witcher 3.
Yeah,
it sank itself then.
Yeah,
I just never went back and played 1 and 2 because I won't be able to tolerate my eyes.
Yeah, eyes. I'm hoping I think they should remaster them, but that's
who gives a shit about an upgrade to Xbox Series X and S and whatever? Give me 1 and 2 in 4K.
Yeah, I mean, you're building the new game in Unreal Engine, I'm assuming, right? They said
they said they're moving to 5.
So why not have another team who's building 1 and 2 in Unreal Engine, and then you could transfer assets back and forth?
Why not have the team that you just took your project back from do 1 and 2?
Yeah. We got to stop with these good ideas.
I'm chock full of them.
Number 10.
Here's another one.
Yeah.
Take a tortilla. Throw some peanut butter down on it.
Okay.
Take a single line. I use a squeezable strawberry jelly or jam. I don't know, whichever one you want to call it. But strawberry, because it's the superior of the two. Mind you, I love grape flavored things.
Mm-hmm.
Strawberry jam, though, or jelly, whatever, which I don't know which the difference is. I guess consistency. But the Smucker's stand-up squeezable strawberry, chef's kiss of sweetness and delicious. And you take that, so you have that tortilla out with the peanut butter down it, right? You take that and you make a shuffle line, one squeezed line of jelly goodness. And then you must roll the tortilla lengthwise along that line. So to keep the line in the middle of the tortilla and roll. Delicious.
I've tried sometime.
You now have a peanut butter jelly roll up. It's portable. Careful, depending on how much jelly you put in. Might, a little poof out the backside.
Might have a little
Gotta
squirt.
be careful, so maybe fold the back end over a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But, chef's kiss. Easy snack, delicious time. You're welcome. Tips, tricks, and more.
I was always I get the jar of Smucker's strawberry natural.
See, I can't be bothered.
Well, I got it because it was natural, had less sugar in it.
Yeah. Oh, listen, I understand. That all makes a lot of sense. I'm lazy when it comes to.
Yeah.
Did you hear what I did? I didn't even get bread. I got a pack of tortillas because it's one thing.
I mean, lazy.
Instead of two slices, it's one thing.
Lazy or big brain?
Listen, they come together.
Yeah.
The biggest of brain to do the smallest of tasks.
Exactly. So, yeah, I can't really do jelly anymore, though, because of the whole sweetness thing.
I could see that being an issue.
So, but that's my own disabilities.
Your own demons.
Number 10, Kingdom Hearts 4 is officially in the works.
I want to die.
Yes. You're really going to want to die when all those fucking Leia and Thanos and whoever else comes crawling into that fucking game.
Who's going to give a shit? Because they're going to do 3.2, 3.338, and 3.7512897 before 4 comes out.
Yep. Square Enix announced that.
I like that you just yepped that and moved on.
Square Enix announced the upcoming installment during an event in Japan to celebrate the series' 20th anniversary. The art style this time around looks a little bit more realistic, although Square Enix notes the trailer contains development footage that's subject to change. In a press release, Square Enix says Kingdom Hearts 4 takes place in the city of Quadratum and introduces us to a new character named Strelitzia. Also, who appears in the trailer. No word on a release date or window, and that's obvious. And there is another game coming out beforehand, a guaranteed one, which that's some mobile game.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sure we will, as you said, we will have.
I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, but you're not, so that's fine. I mean, it doesn't affect us. Other than
that's true.
it
really doesn't matter to me at all.
Deal with the marketing and people, being like, "Oh, Kingdom Hearts! Oh my god, I'm so excited."
I don't know if that'll happen. So that happened around 3.
Yeah,
because people were really, really clamoring. I think it might happen around 4, but I think it'll be much less. I feel like it'll be half. Because I feel like the crowd of 3, take this for what you will, the crowd of 3 was around us.
Yeah.
But kids today, they don't have Kingdom Hearts. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's
We're
true.
Fortnite dancing and TikTok watching. We're not playing Kingdom Hearts.
That's true. I think it's going to come down to timing of when it releases and what releases around it.
Right after Call of Duty. Number 11. Hello Games has released yet another large free update to No Man's Sky. This one's called Outlaws, and it delivers a set of missions where the player can acquire black market tech and other essential goods from other ships in a less than savory manner, and then smuggle it for a profit. There are also bounty missions and planetary raids. There will be high conflict zones in areas where Outlaws have captured, space stations where you'll have plenty of chances to engage in dogfights. Most importantly, they've added capes and hoods that you can unlock for your character. Because as Matt knows, if there's one thing that is the most important out of this document, it is outfits. Combat has also seen a slight overhaul for more speed and excitement. We should probably take a moment here and take in a quote from one Sean Murray, the man who aged 75 years in a few short months, about the new Hello Games project. Quote, "For a while now, we've been working on something pretty ambitious in the background. It's a small team, but we like it that way. Similar to No Man's Sky, it's the kind of project that even if we had 1,000 people working on it, it'd still seem impossible." Quote, What is the definition of insanity? Not learning from the first time when I opened my fucking mouth and doing it again. It's a good thing, at least this time, that was like a small little conversation type thing and not done on this massive interview where he's like, "The possibilities will be limitless and you can do whatever you want."
No Man's Sky.
Look where we look. Basically Sean Murray to the rest of his team. Look at us. Look at us. Who'd have thought?
What if that becomes like their shtick, to where like
to become Blizzard?
They overpromise and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" and they release a game, everyone hates it, and then they take the next like how many years to turn it into like something that's absolutely amazing.
7.
And then start all over again.
7.5 years. If the game came out when I think it did.
I don't know. I have no idea.
It's either 2014 or 15.
Crazy. Well, guess we'll find out.
But I don't need another company. I'm already dealing with this come next week when we get the new World of Warcraft expansion announcement, where I've watched a company now for the last 6 years start promises pretty good, implement systems, and then make them dog shit for 2 years until the end of the expansion where they go, "Oh, no, everything's fine now." And it's like, no. So again, No Man's Sky and to Hello Games.
I love how
stop it.
Universal that sentiment is in the WoW community as well. Because I don't frequent the WoW sub. I follow the WoW subreddit, but I don't go into it on my own. I like, if I'll get,
I need a guide.
It shows up in my feed, I'll see what it is. And everything I have seen that has shown up in my main feed has been like some joke or something about the expansion announcement. And I'll go into the comments, and like the majority of the comments are people talking about that same sentiment. Like, can't wait for them to release, to do covenants or whatever. Or I can't, whatever the fucking thing was, and then have it be shit until the end of the expansion.
Yep. Because that's what they've done now for the last 3 expansions. They've gone pretty start, but the systems don't work, to tweak, remove, tweak, remove. Oh, all the stuff that we got feedback from in beta, now in the game at the end of it. Okay, it's all good. Go to the next expansion. Strip all that shit out. Square one ourselves again. What do you mean they say it doesn't work? Well, they're stupid. Double down on your own idiocy. A year and a half to 2 years later, revert back to what the community told you would work. Everything's fine. What? We have a Shadowlands expansion where we're going to the Realm of Death? Yeah, remember all that shit we did before? Fucking forget it. Useless information. The community's wrong. It's them. It is not me. It is the kids that are wrong. We're doing this, and this is going to be a meaningful, powerful choice. Why would you ever want to switch covenants? We can perfectly balance 75 different things, because clearly we can already balance the three specializations across 12 classes. That hasn't been an issue. What? That's a massive issue for us? You're fired. Now, 3 months later, 2 years-ish later, here we go again, where everything's basically now to where it should have been on launch, and nobody would have really complained that much. Right in time, Matt. Right in time to see the cycle begin anew. Like a phoenix from the ashes rise Blizzard's bad decisions.
Crazy.
Arise. This is my Phoenix Rise motion.
All right. Number 12. Niantic. The developer behind Pokemon Go has announced its
and
next...
other things.
Yeah, no one cares about that.
What? You didn't play Ingress, bro? Are you telling me Harry Potter Wizards Unite wasn't good?
All right, well, we're going to talk about another game that no one's going to play.
Oh, shit.
Has announced the next augmented reality game called Peridot. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's how I'm doing it. Or Peridot. I'm going to go Peridot. The game is all about caring for and breeding magical critters. Think of it like Pokemon Go crossed with a Tamagotchi, with some real world and AR elements tossed in.
Does that involve the breeding?
Ooh, mamacita. Here's the basic premise, according to Niantic. Quote, after thousands of years of slumber, Peridots are waking up to a world vastly different from the one in which they were used to roam, and they'll need your help to protect them from extinction, end quote. Practically speaking, this means you'll be caring for creatures by training, feeding, and playing with them. One of the defining aspects of the Peridots, whatever the hell these things are called, is that every creature is unique. They all look different through a combination of ham. They're also delicious.
A combination of ham. We got your honey hams, your Virginia hams,
got some Black Forest ham.
You just take all those and you just slap them together with some duct tape. Boom, there you go, Peridots.
I'm
just gonna walk into the
butcher. Like bug snacks.
Basically, they're getting an update. You should have put that here.
Should have, yeah.
It's like walking to the butcher. Just walk to the next butcher you see and be like, "Oh, you got any Peridots? Looking for some Black Forest Peridots? Some Virginia Peridots?" What are you talking about, sir? The hams.
Oh my god. All right. They all look different through a combination of handcrafted assets and procedural generation, and have distinct personality traits. Niantic says they also have their own DNA. This ties into the breeding aspect, which the developer says is patterned after the way DNA works in real life. There are different creature archetypes like unicorn or cheetah, and these can be blended during breeding to create all new adorable little creatures. Some quick highlights. Much of the gameplay requires going out in the world, which that's standard operating procedure for them. There's no punitive elements in the game. The creatures will never die. The game's virtual creatures can recognize different real-world surfaces such as dirt, sand, water, grass, and foliage and react to them accordingly.
All right.
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. I don't think anything's going to take off like Pokemon Go again for AR until somebody actually really reinvents the wheel. But
yeah.
Oh, Metallica. Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck's wrong with us?
A lot of things. Number 13, Vicarious Visions is, or rather was, one of the most prolific American developers of the past 25 years, producing numerous successful entries for popular franchises such as Crash Bandicoot, Tony Hawk's Anything, Guitar Hero, and Spider-Man, just to name a few. More recently, they scored back-to-back hits with the critically acclaimed remasters of Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Despite this, as of today, the Vicarious Visions name is no more. From their Twitter account, quote, "We've officially merged with Blizzard Entertainment. Our development team will remain in Albany, New York, and fully dedicated to Blizzard games. We invite you to follow us at Blizzard Entertainment," end quote. No, I just for some reason have the beginning of hey stuck in my head. So yeah, all right, well,
yeah.
Rip to Vicarious, but I guess they're not actually dead, so.
Not dead, but probably going to be forgotten.
I don't think so. We got a while before they're forgotten.
Yeah.
Just because they have those two those two most recent entries.
I unfortunately, like, from the rest of what there was about it, they basically are getting. I mean, obviously, they're becoming a support studio.
Probably, but because of something like Activision's amount of titles, like, okay, hey, you're a support studio, but also, like, we still own Crash and Tony Hawk, so
yeah,
you're not assisting us with Call of Duty. Don't worry, we already have 7 studios for that.
They, they're just working all the Blizzard nonsense, whatever that survival game is. All right, we got the short stuff. Nintendo has spent $40 million on land to expand its headquarters with a, quote, Nintendo headquarters second development building. $40 million on land. Actually, you know what? It's Japan, so that kind of makes sense. Land's kind of hard to come by in Japan, so.
One would say it's at a premium.
Premium, yeah. You know, mountains. It's an island.
Small one.
Small.
You live in a mountain.
You could live in a mountain. What if they made like a Evil Lair styled R&D building? Like they dug out a mountain and, you know.
I'm like 99% sure they have that.
Okay. Nintendo. Makes sense.
Oh, you mean Nintendo? I meant like the country of Japan.
Oh. Well, Japan has like Gundams, like life-size ones. So.
Well, yeah, but like also their government, even in World War II, like went into the mountains.
Yeah.
So like, oh, you're telling me those strategies still don't exist? And hell, even before World War II, during the wars with China, they just dipped.
That's true.
I mean, they didn't just dip, but like they very strongly fought on those shorelines because China had a nightmare time attacking them. But they also had mountain fortresses that they could just, haha, I'm in a mountain, fuck you. Like, all right, man, what do I do in a mountain? I don't know.
There you go.
Now, Nintendo, specifically, 70% chance that they have one.
Yeah. For sure.
But on the other end of the island from their main office. Connected.
Via tunnel.
Good job. We're all right. We're there.
Yeah.
We're there.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Secret button in Doug Bowser's desk.
Yep.
Obviously. And that's obvious.
Yeah. Yeah, some giant laser somewhere or something.
That shoots out of the Bowser Gundam.
Yeah. They probably have their own Gundam.
Yeah. It's shaped like Bowser.
Like the
giant
guy Bowser or the character Bowser?
Yes. It's Doug Bowser dressed
or
up.
Mario.
No, Doug Bowser dressed up like...
Okay.
Well, they have one of each. It depends on if they're saving the world or attacking it.
Okay. That makes sense.
They pull out the Bowser one when they get angry.
You know what it is? I mean, we won't go that way. I was going to go way too deep into the whole
The
Gundam
Bowser
thing.
one is just there in case somebody makes a Princess Peach one, and then they have to use that one to go get
Yeah. If they're destroying things, they take the Bowser character.
That's the more tank, like meant to just brutally murder everything.
It's the mobile armor.
Mario is the more like agile suit.
Yeah.
Meant to do a lot of jumps and wahoo's.
Yeah. A fan-made successor to pop.
I want that now. I want that anime. Why can't that anime be?
I mean, there's a crossover between Gundam and Hello Kitty, so
right. But why can't we just have like the Nintendo anime where it is just Nintendo Anime X Gundam?
Because that'd be a good idea. Just a Nintendo anime would be a good idea. Period. Like just
no, because then you'd end up in like those weird early Nintendo cartoon shows.
I think they should do a Nintendo What If series, like a What If style series.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, or like the What If is the Marvel take, I believe, on like, you know, what if Iron Man was actually Captain America type of thing.
Yeah.
Elsewhere is the DC one, which is what if Batman was a pirate, or what if he existed in samurai times? Both
something in the same vein as like what they did with Star Wars with like the Disney anime people, like just really crazy.
That. Yeah, this what are they called?
I don't know.
They weren't short stories, but they were.
Yeah, just give us
Visions.
Star Wars Visions. Just give us like a Nintendo thing where like you just let a bunch of creators do whatever they want with the characters.
Oh my gosh! Imagine the backstabbing Yoshi would do when he realizes Bowser's his father, and it's like, what?
Yeah, like you could just do weird shit. Like, anyways,
What if Yoshi's king?
there you go.
King Yoshi.
There you go. What if Mario is like the villain and just is like a psychopathic plumber murderer?
Shotgun Mario.
Yeah.
Did you ever play that Flash game?
No.
You were
Dumb.
Mario playing through like World 1-1 with a shotgun.
Jesus.
You still jumped.
I mean,
And
wasn't that basically the U.S. Army?
They didn't jump on Goombas.
Well,
They did after they killed them, but that's different.
probably a lot of like Italian immigrants, though.
That's Sniper Elite. 4. Right?
All
4
right.
is the one in Italy?
I don't know. I don't remember. They're all like it's to me. It's
No,
the same
because-
fucking game where you're like,
3
gotta
was
kill
Africa.
Gotta go shooting.
3 was Africa.
Okay.
Because that was when we were in the desert.
4 might
4
be
was
Italy,
Italy,
because
and then
I
it
remember
was-
the villas and stuff.
And then it was Dead War.
a
Yeah,
fan,
we're not crazy.
Yeah. A fan-made successor to popular social app Club Penguin has been shut down and taken over by UK police following
I
an
don't know if I
alleged...
like taken over by.
Oh yeah, they're running
Let's
it now.
just have shut down.
Following an alleged takedown request by the site's owner, Disney.
I don't. It's just something about the taken over part of that
Yeah,
sentence.
they took it over. They run it now.
Yeah. So now the UK police just have their own Club Penguin. I
Yeah.
almost said Hello Kitty. That was a weird crossover. Yeah, they have their own Club Penguin server now.
Yep.
I wonder. Do you think the UK police did the photo that like US cops do when they do a drug bust, where they have everything on the table and they take like that real "We're bad boys of law" with like their album cover. Do you think the UK police did the same thing with a Club Penguin server?
They just took a photo in front of like a random
Or a
server.
fucking random computer. It just looks like a e machine.
It's classic.
It's gonna be on the subreddit of like r/photos that go hard or whatever.
Yeah. Oh God. Epic announced that it has invested in Aquarius. It's not Aquarius. It doesn't have an A. I don't know. It's some whatever. It's a Brazilian developer of Wonderbox, Horizon Chase, and Looney Tunes: The World
Aquarius.
of Mayhem. Aquarius.
That's what I go with. Aquarius.
Jack Trenton,
Holy shit, he's alive.
former PlayStation boss, is trying to bring special purpose acquisition companies into gaming with Power Up Acquisition Corps.
I don't know what that means.
They're essentially giant banks of money who are controlled by a board of individuals who have a special set of skills.
Liam Neeson?
Yep.
It's just a board full of Liam Neesons.
Now it's basically like
I will find you, and
it's
I
like
will
a
acquire you.
like a group of people who are like, like Jack. The board for this company is all like fucking.
What is it? Just
either
is it Shark Tank?
Yes, it's either like they're either ex like video game executives, or like they have some link to video games to where they know they should have a huge knowledge base of video games.
Reggie.
And they're just going to go investing into companies they think are going to be successful.
Shark Tank for video games.
Yep.
Reggie.
Yep. Jack Shannon.
Liam Neeson.
Yep.
The unique
I have
set
a
of
special
skills.
set of skills.
I will find you, and I will acquire you.
Among Us
Or I
VR.
guess I will invest in you.
I will invest in you. I will make your game.
I will help you become better.
Among Us VR leaked on Steam DB with the November release date. Don't know if that's true, but we said it. Sony has seemingly updated its official PlayStation Studios banner to include Kojima Productions' Death Stranding, which then Kojima was like, yeah, that's just like, it's just a marketing thing. They're not buying us.
Yeah.
We're going to always be independent. I am Kojima.
I did like him coming out and essentially saying, no, I am Kojima. I'm independent. And you're like, whoa, all right, man. All right.
Settle down.
We agree. It's all good.
You started this whole mess by
You
tweeting a
tweeted the
photo.
picture.
Yeah. Call of Duty from Sledgehammer is reportedly eyeing a 2025 release date with a new game from Treyarch targeting 2024. In case you wanted to know what your Call of Duty schedule is going to be. Do you have any thoughts or feelings
No.
on that? Okay.
I know the rotation usually anyway. So
Yeah.
I
The
also don't care.
only noticeable thing, I guess, is that there's nothing coming out. Is there anything coming out this year? No.
Yes.
Yes. Not next year.
We don't know yet. They haven't done their reveals or anything this year yet.
We were
But-
hoping they take a year off.
That was the rumor, is that they would take a year off of Call of Duty this year. Or no, sorry. The rumor was that they would be going to an every other development cycle,
Mm-hmm.
which meant that we would get a new one this year and then take the year off. Now, if that's not happening and we're not getting one this year and then we're getting one in 2023, well, then 24 and 25 don't make sense because there was supposed to also be a Warzone revamp coming later this fall.
Mm-hmm.
But they still haven't done any of their events yet, so you're kind of in just the dark.
Yeah. Elon Musk is attempting to buy Twitter. Maybe.
Nah, who knows? Who cares?
Exactly. More Need for Speed leaks, and leaks is in quotations because they're who knows if they're real or not. It'll be in a fictionalized version of Chicago called Lakeshore City. You can customize all the pieces of your car. It's going to be photorealistic with anime elements. Whatever the fuck that means.
The only thing I'm hoping that means
Get those sweet anime.
deja vu,
Or we get those sweet anime fucking...
the drift lines,
Yeah.
speed lines, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
I need to hear nothing but Initial D music.
I think what would be a really good concept for a racing game is if you took all of the pop culture and references for racing. So you take your Initial Ds, you take Speed Racer, you take, I don't know, Knight Rider. You take all these car references and pop culture and just slam them all into a video game.
I think if you do that, you need to still have a core identity at the beginning, and then you DLC those the whole way through. Now, I know both of us want to go, DLC, gross, disgusting.
Yeah.
But I think it makes the most sense for your live service angle.
Yeah, if you did live
is
service
which
games.
is what everybody's punching for.
Yeah, so you make a racing game that somehow, I don't know what how you make the story interesting, but have it tell some sort of chapter related
Don't even
story.
bother. Horizon it.
Just Horizon.
You have an
and
Initial
the
D
cars.
season. Initial D season 1 brings in some of the cars, and the music switches over to Initial D music, and it's this whole thing. And then you get season 2 Knight Rider, and that has the inspirings of all of the Knight Rider type things. And then your car changes the voice to Kit and all this other stuff. Just blend them all around. But you still have to have with Horizon, you still had a very core racing game that didn't need any of the season stuff. It had it as addition to in things. So give me Need for Speed Most Wanted remade in the Chicago place, because that had all the things they're mentioning, minus at the time the anime effects. But if you're telling me I'm going to get the same graphic marketplace that I now have on Gran Turismo and Horizon, where I can put any anime girl on my car, sign me up, because I'm going to do that. And then rotate yourself through seasons. Hey, Initial D. Hey, Knight Rider. Hey, Speed Racer. Hey, whatever. Throw those things in where you're oh yeah, there's races for the week that are this, or that are that same way Horizon did, where you build towards getting those cars and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah, well, your car at the first reward is the whatever, and then your car at the second one is the the other one.
Well, there
Again,
it is.
Great ideas. So I'll take the check in the mail.
Yeah. I'll take it.
All right, it's been 7 days. What you been up to?
Not much. Went to the zoo today. That was exciting.
See anything fun?
Yeah, hyenas, man.
Interesting.
Yeah, dude, I didn't know. I don't know. Last time I
Were they laughing?
No, they were not. Actually, they were really creepy.
Well, that's just hyenas.
Well, the way they look at you, man, it's like, oh, you want to eat me, bro? Like,
oh, you do want to kill me.
you do want to eat me, which I was like, oh, that's kind of creepy. And then I noticed there was an electric fence surrounding their whole enclosure, and I was like, oh, fuck.
And then did you
Like,
go, oh, you've tried.
yeah, it's like, oh shit. But
was it one of those where you saw the one, and then as you were kind of walking away is when you realized you saw the other two off to the side that had been staring at you the whole time?
It was the way they moved and like the way they like
the circle
it
with
wasn't
always eyes
no,
on you? Or
it
no?
wasn't necessarily that. It was like they just moved like they were suspicious.
Ah.
You know, you just like, you're up to something. And I didn't know that there was, like, last time I went to the zoo, I don't think they had hyenas. I
haven't been to that zoo.
Yeah, well, we have a year pass. We can go.
You and I going to the zoo?
Yeah, we can go to the zoo. Fuck it.
We're dating a lot this summer. We're going to the zoo. We're going to baseball games.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be around you more than I am any females. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Well, you know, girls like going to the zoo.
What's Amy doing?
That's a good question. No, they were cool though. I mean, I've never seen a hyena, and they were cool looking.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
Yeah. What else was? Yeah, there was other shit, obviously.
Bears.
No bears.
No.
Lions. They have lions there.
Yeah, I have no idea what's there. I know there used to be a giraffe, but I don't think that's still there.
No, I think
I know where the enclosure was.
Yeah, it's pretty overgrown.
Yeah.
Camels.
One hump or two?
Two hump camels.
Oh. Did I say? Do you remember the name?
Starts with the B. Bactrian camels. I think.
I believe that's correct.
They're way bigger than I thought they were going to be.
Well, I mean, camels are not tiny.
No, but like I think my suspicion is that I've only ever seen the other camels, and I think the other ones are smaller.
Okay.
That start with a D. I don't know what the name is.
I can confirm one is a D and one is a B, I believe,
Yeah.
but I do not remember which is which.
But these are Bactrians, and they have two humps. And the one was like bigger than the other one, and he was fucking huge. And I was like, "Whoa, okay, you're way bigger than I thought,
bro. Relax."
Yeah, and he was just staring at me, chewing, gumming. But
I do the same thing in the food court.
Yeah,
just random people and just eating.
Yeah, exactly. It's life. That's it, really. New season of anime started, and it's all like rom-com. So like, I have a whole list of
things to
animes.
avoid.
No, actually, I guess they're good. So
what are you rom-comming now?
Anime rom-coms are pretty good, usually. So I have a list of animes that we're gonna watch the first episode of every single one, and then first or second
start eliminating.
Yeah, exactly.
It's essentially the tab version of news reading.
Yep. And then I gotta get playing Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
And downloaded for PS5 the new Lego Skywalker Saga.
Yeah, I want to play that.
I mean, I downloaded it, and Samantha said she'd play it with me, but we have yet to play it, so I know it's on. You probably want to do it on a PC, but
I'll force her hand and show up at your house. I don't give a shit.
That's fair too. I mean, I don't care. That's all I've been up to though. Watching Moon Knight.
Yeah, Gran Turismo, you gotta get on though. Just because you have so much like to do before you unlock like all the courses and stuff.
What have you been up to?
Just same stuff. WoW.
How's the boss count going?
We're up to 10 killed in heroic now.
Oh,
we did kill the last
golf clap.
We killed the other two last night.
Stuck on the jailer.
Didn't even pull him.
Okay.
Might not. Probably just gonna go to Mythic.
That's
just because there's like
is there nothing that worth getting?
There's a couple things, but it would make more sense for us to at least try to get 2 killed on Mythic and then go try to kill him.
More drops.
Well, but the way that the vault works is the vault is now 258, I believe is the number. So if you kill 2 bosses, you get that level of gear. You kill 5, you get that level of gear. You kill 8, you get that level. So it makes sense for us to kill 2 bosses, which means we get a mythic vault shot, and then we can go do whatever we want.
Are you guys still number 1 on your server?
No.
You son of
We
a
are
bitches. Did they? What? Do you know how far the other guild got?
I think they're 1 boss into mythic so far.
Oh, so
They, I think, killed the jailer. I don't remember though. They might not have.
Close though.
Yeah, but they pulled ahead of us, and it was entertaining, or it's been entertaining because people still mouth off in the guild of like, yeah, well, we're number 1. And I go, no, the fuck, we're not. Like, what do you mean? And I was like, yeah, we're not.
We're number 2 now.
Yeah, I was like, you're literally number 2 now.
Has that got anyone fired up?
No,
What the fuck?
there's been
Has motivation
there's
waned?
been some drama has shown up.
Oh my god!
Uh,
Can't wait to hear about it.
it's not like anything big. We had somebody quit in the middle of a raid last week, I think.
Bunch of quitters.
I think that was last week. I don't remember. Yeah, it was last week. It was last week. I don't know why I didn't talk about this last week. But middle of the raid, there were just arguments going on because of the nature of our guild.
Hmm.
And usually everything's fine and we just kind of move on. But a couple of them were getting into it with each other. And one of the guys who was new, and the majority of these guys have been together for a while.
Yeah.
Like technically, I'm new in the grand scheme of things or whatever. Or well, not technically, I am new.
Yeah.
Like relative, but he was newer than I was, and they were getting into it or whatever. And then, so he left the raid, then left the guild. Then I think he left the server all that same night.
All right.
Which I was like, well, if you're gonna leave the guild, you might as well leave the server because
There's no reason to be.
we're the one of the top 2 on the server.
Yeah.
Why would you're not gonna you can't make a step, even a lateral step. Like it makes sense to just leave the server and go try to find a better guild on a more popular server or an equal guild even.
Mm-hmm.
So that happened, and I was like, well, that's a thing. Not my problem.
Now it's my problem.
Not my job, basically, right? So that happened, and I've like hinted at them multiple times that I'm like, I'll leave. Not like I have no beef with any of them.
Yeah.
But
But it's like it starts to fall apart. Like,
it's like I have no allegiances here.
Yeah.
I'll be gone. I was like, yeah, because I was talking with one of the other officers after that all happened, and then again this weekend maybe I can't remember what it was. And him and I were just kind of going back and forth on Discord. He's actually kind of like
In the air?
around.
ah,
He's within a couple hours.
It's kind of strange in itself, though.
Yeah, I'll tell you about that after. And we were talking, and he's like, man, there seem to be like a lot like mentally weaker people in the raid now. And I was like, well, yes and no. I was like, that was definitely a blow up that night, and that ended poorly. But whatever, like it happens.
Yeah.
But I was like, that definitely happened. But he was the one. He was the one in the argument, so that's why he ended up like just stepping away and leaving. But I know there were other people that were watching it happen and not being fans of the way it was being handled.
Mm-hmm.
And so, he's like, yeah, there's a solid chance that like so-and-so is the next person to leave. And I was like, I agree with you that he would probably be next, but there's also going to be not just him.
Yeah, like if he goes,
Like, I know enough of the inner workings of conversations that he probably will not be the only one. Or you will at least have people potentially stop playing. They might not leave, but they'll just, because they're all friends, but they'll probably just stop playing because they don't want to deal with whatever's going down.
mm-hmm.
So it's like, we'll see. I think the killing the next 2 last night
Mm-hmm.
alleviated some of that. I think if we had gone another week of not killing them and getting hard stuck on them for a full night, that would have caused issues.
Yeah.
But killing them, I think, fixes, at least pushes that deadline. So we'll see.
Chasing the dragon.
Yeah, basically. Always. But you know what the deal is? You never
You don't
catch
ever
that.
catch,
You
yeah,
never
you
catch
never
that
catch
dragon.
dragon. They just haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah. But that's, it's just what it is. There's some other like shake up things going on in the guild, and I'm just along for the ride.
Best place to be.
Yeah. I've made it clear with every officer in that guild and the GM and everything of like, I have no loyalty. I'll do everything to make this group work, but the moment that like you guys decide this is gonna fall apart, I will run.
Yeah.
You watched me do it at the end of last year when you guys decided to stop, and I left and found ways.
Yeah.
I'll do it again. I'll go right back to Zul'jin where I was, which is one of the top 7 most populated servers or whatever. Here we go. Round 2. Round 2, fight. But yeah, I got it back and playing Gran Turismo and then just playing the show. So
Yeah.
and I'm
What's
like I said, into book 3 on Blood of Elves. I believe is book 3.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think you're right.
Sword of Destinies 2 and then Blood of Elves.
I started a new book as well.
Oh.
In the Name of Rome.
Oh, of course.
It's about the
Alexander. Is it about Alexander?
it is another like 20-something hour book, and it's basically it goes through like the top generals in Rome's history.
10 hours in Alexander's era.
No, Rome's well after Alexander, so it's
10 hours about how they're all descendants of Alexander.
it's like your typical.
You know how some of those Rome books get.
Oh yeah. It's pretty standard. There's a couple curveballs. Like, so I tried to do a thing where it doesn't tell you, he doesn't tell you, like, you're not told which ones they're going to go over.
Oh, okay.
He's just like, oh, this is like who I think are like the top generals of Rome's history. And I made a list thinking like, all right, I'm going to make a list. And I'll see how I got, like, if I get it, how close I am. And he's already thrown like 2 curveballs in where I'm like, I didn't have those people on my list. So
Did you make the list just out of your head?
yes.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. So I mean, some are obvious. Some I feel are pretty obvious, but I feel like he's going to throw, I think his standards and what I was going by are different.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, and watching baseball, obviously. So.
Yes, baseball. Yeah.
I'm currently up in my fantasy matchup, so
that's good.
I think we got one more day of that, because I think my matchups end on Saturday night. Either end on Saturday or Sunday. I don't remember exactly which one it is.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
Starting the season strong. You got to start out with a win. Because I don't have the strongest team, so.
Is there any big games coming out anytime soon?
Well, Skywalker Saga was the one.
Yeah.
No. Not until May. May, the one thing I had was 2 Point Hospital, but that got delayed. And then I believe everything else was in June, actually. But hey, I'll be at PAX next week, so.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're not doing nothing next week, then, right?
Probably not.
Okay.
So it might be an episode free thing, but check out the old Twitter handle, Gamers2, for all tips, tricks, and more. No, for whatever, I'll be at PAX running around. If people need to find me for things, say hello, or want me to play their game, I'll do that too.
Nice.
Might as well put it out there. Speak things into existence.
Yeah.
Though usually whenever I speak things into existence, for some reason it tends to be for multi-billion-dollar corporations and not little old me. What am I doing wrong?
I don't. You're not already rich.
Did I sacrifice the wrong goat?
You're not already rich, so you have to have money to make money.
True.
As the kids say.
That's true. They do say that right after they get done flossing.
Yep.
All right. Well, that'll be it then. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.